Welcome, everybody, to a very special review on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Mathew. Joining me today is Joshua.
Nope. But yep, I'm here.
Yes, we're reviewing Nope, directed by Jordan Peele. Previously, what movies did he do, Josh? Can you name them off the top of your head?
Yeah, he did Get Out, which I loved, and he did Us, which I loved a little less, but still loved.
Okay, and this is his third feature film. Jordan Peele obviously has gotten a lot of accolades in the horror community for both Get Out and Us. So let's talk about it. Going into it. You had seen the trailer, right? There was two trailers.
There
There was
was
the
two
first trailer
trailers.
and there was a
Yeah.
second trailer. The first trailer I saw in the theater was more, I guess, it would be more like a teaser. It was more sort of horror focused. It seemed like a more horror type film. The second trailer I saw looked like a straight up comedy, and they were two very, very different tones with the trailers. The first one, I was really on board with. The second one, that was just comedy. I'm not a comedy guy. I was like, this sucks. I'm not really that interested anymore in seeing this. How did you feel about the two different trailers that came out?
Yeah, you kind of hit it. The first trailer that came out, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be the shit." They didn't show you anything. They kind of gave you like some ideas. They gave you a few good spots in that first kind of teaser trailer that kind of sold you on kind of what the vibe was going to be. And then that second trailer came out, and look, you can go watch it if you haven't seen it. Spoiler, I'm sorry, but like they showed some stuff. I guess I don't have to say it, but like they showed some stuff where I was just like, I got super bummed out
Yeah.
because I was like, he's making that like he's following Get Out and Us with this bullshit. Like he's just better than that trailer that came out. So I was like, my excitement level went way down after that trailer came out.
Yep, same here. That trailer, the tone of it was just so different from the first trailer, and I was like, what movie? I didn't know what movie I was gonna get. Well, I'll just get right into it. What are your thoughts on Nope?
Look, Jordan Peele always puts in, there's always like meetings, there's always like undertones to all his films. They all have, they all have a message. You kind of get it through the film, like this is kind of what he's going for, and this is what he's shooting at, and I got that 100% with Get Out, and I got that 100% with Us. Nope is tough. I don't often sit around for a long period of time after a film is over and do research on what the fuck I just watched and what happened and what it all meant. For what that movie was, you knew he was going, there were some undertones to that movie or some meaning to that movie that he was going for. And I didn't get it. I missed it. Whatever it was upon the initial viewing, I didn't get it. The girl next to me apparently got it because she was fucking crying. So it meant something to her. But for me, I was like, I have to go now, like sit around for half an hour and look up, like, what was Jordan Peele going for? With that being kind of said, I think Daniel Kaluuya is great. I loved him in Get Out. I think Kiki Palmer stole the whole goddamn thing. If I'm being honest, I thought she was fantastic. It's really cool to see Steven Yeun in something else besides The Walking Dead. I know he's been in other things. I just haven't really seen them. It was great to see him. I thought his character was great. Acting wise, it was spot on and it was fantastic and everything looked really great. I just, what I didn't kind of get was like the changing of like the flying saucer, I guess I'm just gonna fucking say it, in that movie. It was just a weird change and it, like, by the end of the movie it looked different. I guess it missed me on what that movie meant, and I don't know if it hit you. And
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a ton of difficulty when I was watching it trying to figure out what he was trying to say. Commentary on spectacle and our relationship to spectacle, and capitalizing on that and not learning from the mistakes of our pasts and stuff like. I got it. My problem was with this was, number one, I felt it was kind of boring. Like there were moments where
Yeah.
I feel like I was dozing off. Like I was like, this is just I really love Get Out. I like Us less just
Mhm.
because I feel like it didn't hit the way that Get Out
Right.
did. And
Right.
so, and with Nope, I feel like Jordan Peele started out really high, and each film I'm seeing now, it's just progressively getting, it's like a downward slope in terms of my love for the films themselves. Like you said, it goes
Right.
without saying to say it's well made. You know, the acting is good. Of course, the acting and all that stuff is going to be great. The question is like, you know. Jordan Peele has a message that he wants to get across in these movies. Did that come across in this movie? I don't necessarily think it did, and even if it did, I wouldn't say that this is a message that I really care about at all.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's like, you know, racial animus and in our relationship with, you know, other people who do not look like us is something that everyone can really sort of understand on a visceral level. It's hard to watch. Like my mom can watch Get Out and understand the basic core concepts of what the underlying themes are about and what the
Right.
message is. Right. This is easily his most inaccessible film, I think, in terms of the themage, if that's a word that we can use. I think the whole someone's love of this film or appreciation of it's going to depend on whether or not they buy the twist. You know, because we're going to go ahead and spoil it here. You think that it's an actual UFO. Turns out the UFO is just a living creature. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
UFO is alive and it's eating the horses and it's eating all of this stuff. And to me, I love the idea is kind of novel. I guess, you know, if I'm being honest with myself, I've never really heard of that before. Like, oh, the UFO is an actual living creature. That's kind of interesting. I didn't care what he did with any of it. I was just like, I don't care about, you know, trying to capitalize and make money off of this thing. I don't care about really any of these characters or what they're doing here. It didn't engage me on that level. No, I totally agree that there's an audience that it will engage. Whoever that was next to you crying probably really affected her. It didn't affect me at all.
No.
I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm not into this. I felt like the end of the film was just kind of like, well, there's no real emotional punch here because basically everyone survives. You know, our main characters, they all survive. The Stephen Yoon character dies. I thought, honestly, the most interesting thing about the whole film was the chimpanzee sequence.
Okay, yeah. So that was the other thing. I was like, why do we? I was trying to go, like, I was trying to figure out the correlation. The whole movie is like, why do we keep bouncing back between what's really happening and this chimpanzee, like, secondary story thing that's happening that they keep going back to, that I don't care. I don't care about that part. I didn't really care about a lot of the movie, to be honest with you. It did not hit me enough to like care for it. But yeah, the chimpanzee thing, I know they try to explain it in the movie and stuff, but I was just like, I don't get it. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, if you care about this character and the story of how this all relates to our main sort of protagonists in it, then it sort of makes sense, right? So, I mean, like, what questions did you have about it? I guess.
I mean, like I get like Stephen Ewan's character was like the kid in the TV show,
Right.
and he grew up and he's running this ranch. But like, I don't care that he was in that TV show, and I don't get how like what one had to do with the other than giving the background story of this character that wasn't even a character really that made a dent in any of this story.
Well, it's about
Um,
spectacle, right? So this
right.
character, when he's young, and this whole thing happens, this tragedy on this film set, the first thing he does is he capitalizes on the spectacle of it. He's created this whole sort of amusement park. He has a secret room in his office where he's got artifacts from this actual event, and he's making
Right.
money off it, $50,000, you know, all this stuff. He's selling tickets to this spectacle. He believes that he sort of is able to control the quote unquote alien because he knows about the alien well
Yeah.
before the main protagonists do, and that's
Right.
what setting up this whole thing. And he believes that he can sort of quote unquote tame, for lack of a better term, this sort of alien and control it because he's gone through this similar experience.
Right.
It turns out he doesn't, right? It's just like the chimpanzee. Like, he can't control the chimpanzee. He might have worked with this chimpanzee every day. The chimpanzee was nice to him, but one thing sets it off, just like one thing sets off the fact that he gets sucked up and eaten by this alien monster.
Right.
Like, his character is there to sort of be the 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 person in the film in which it's showing, look, this is when you look at spectacle in the negative way. This is what happens when you don't learn from your sort of past mistakes here. Whereas our protagonists, they also engage in spectacle. Like, they think there's a UFO, and the first thing they want to do is make a bunch of money on it,
Right.
right? Like, let's get out here. Or the director who was looking for the perfect shot, right?
The Oprah money, making the Oprah money.
Yeah, the Oprah money and stuff like that. But then they engage with it in a very different way. Daniel Kaluuya's character, right? He's the one that learns, like, you don't look this thing in the eyes, right? You basically look in the eyes, it's going to suck you up and eat you.
Right.
Whereas the other character didn't sort of learn from that. So it's all about spectacle and how we engage with spectacle. And even at the very end of the movie, the sister, what is she trying to do? She's trying to take a picture of that alien, to get that picture, so that
Right.
they can, I guess, make money and stuff off of it. And to me, I feel like that kind of message, and again, this is just me personally, I felt like it was low hanging fruit.
Right.
It's like everybody knows, like, okay, what do you do when you drive by a car wreck? Everybody slows down so they can look at it. And I felt it was just that principle or concept put into sort of like a sci-fi film idea,
Right.
and it didn't work for me. I just didn't find that as interesting as the themes he was going for in Get Out or
Yeah.
Us.
So I mean, that's kind of what I learned upon doing the research after the movie was over about the spectacle and all that stuff. I just uh I go to a Jordan Peele film and I look for these messages like I did for Get Out and Us, and like something to kind of, like I said, punch and hit. And even reading about the spectacle and this is what he was going for, I was just like, I don't give a shit about it. I was like, that's it. That's what we're doing. And because I've kind of built Jordan Peele up on a higher scale, I think that I just kind of built that up in my head and disappointed myself when it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I told you, I think I messaged you before I even went and saw this. I was like, that second trailer that came out kind of shut down my excitement. So I was walking into the movie kind of skeptical anyway. Uh,
Yeah, and I didn't think, like, because that second trailer made this almost out to be a straight comedy. Like, haha, we're gonna have lots of laughs while we're trying to take pictures of this UFO and stuff like that. Very strange tone. Because I remember, I don't know what movie I was watching, but I turned to my fiance and I was like, I don't think I was in the theater and I was like, I don't think I want to see this movie anymore. But what I will say is, when I watched the full film, it wasn't like a laugh a minute sort of madcap comedy or anything like that. But the tone was just kind of weird, and I just didn't quite buy it. It was very slow paced, in my opinion. The message, I understand the overall message of spectacle and the TMZ guy, right? For example,
right,
the guy in the motorcycle where he's like, his legs are broken. And give me my camera. I need to film it. I need to film it. Like, I am a filmmaker. I would never do something like that. And so for me personally, I just kind of looked at these things and I was like, I don't buy this overall message for me personally. If I had to grade this movie, I'd probably give it a C minus.
yeah,
Again,
yeah,
it all looks fine, right? It's all high quality acting and cinematography. Of course, we expect that. That's going to be a given with all these. It's the message and the story. Did it resonate with me? It did not. C minus. So I would give, like, Get Out an A. I would give Us like a B minus, and I would
hmm
give this a C minus. So it's just it's going downhill for me with Jordan Peele.
right.
He's still talented. I still think he's a talented filmmaker. I still think we want to see more stuff by him, but you know, letter grade. What would you give this if you had to get a letter grade?
I'm right on the same level. It's that C minus kind of grade for me as well. So I was bummed. Was
Yeah,
not. So
yeah. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. What did you think of Nope? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Leave us a comment. You know, it just didn't connect for us, but we're still excited to go see what Jordan Peele does next. Definitely, I'll definitely go to the theater, whatever his next movie is. But this one just didn't quite hit.